Hello everyone and welcome to a hallway transformation. Now you may be thinking, why is this stripy carpet on the stairs? This is a flashback of last year in the summer when I decided to start entirely on this hallway after 9 years of having this carpet down. Absolutely vile. So I'm just giving you a little flashback to see how we've gone through the motions before we went to black, and you can see how absolutely gorgeous it is when I put the black on. It looks smart, it looked clean, it looked fresh. But let me give you a warning: if you are ever thinking about doing black in your hallway and you've got kids and pets, rethink it, because at first you're like, oh yes, check this out, it's looking so nice. And then after a month, it's wrecked. Look how smart and lovely that looked. And I was so happy with it. But it didn't last. It didn't last at all. And it was a nightmare to maintain. So look at it now. One of the mats came off. And no matter how many times I stuck it back down, it just kept coming off. But anyway, I got this off Amazon. I think like 35 quid or something for the full set. And I'm not even going to hoover them. I'm just going to whip them up. And then I'm going to hoover the wood floor. But I'm going to show you absolutely everything that I've done to transform this hallway into a brighter, warmer, more cozy, more neutral look. And it's going to look absolutely gorgeous. And let me say, everyone's loving it in the house. It literally killed me. My hands are absolutely raw. And yeah, I was seized the next day. But it took me 2 days in total just to do the stairs. And it was worth it. It was so worth it. I did it within school time. I did a little bit in the evening when they were out of school, but not too much. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, purely because I didn't really use paintbrushes. It's very rare that I pulled a paintbrush out. I mainly used a roller because I'm painting everything white. And yeah, what a difference. So I hope everybody's well. How are you all? What have you all been up to? Did anyone do anything for Valentine's Day? Do you know what me and Nick did for Valentine's Day? We went to B&Q. Yes, we did. Kids went to school and we went to B&Q. We did go and have a bit of brunch, which was nice. And then after that, I cracked on with the stairs and he cracked on sorting stuff out for his work van. So that was the day. But I'm trying to sand the stairs and I really want to use the electric sander, and Nick was like, I don't think it's going to work. I mean, you can try it, but I don't think it'll work. And I couldn't be bothered to go down into the summer house to hunt for it and yeah, learn how to set it all up if it wasn't really going to work. So to be honest, it didn't make much of a difference because the paint I'm using is Leyland's like undercoat, and it's for like wood and metal and this, that and the other. So I did a coat of that, and then over the top I've done a satin. I can't remember which one it is, but it's for metal and wood, and I put the satin over the top and it's just come up lovely, which you're going to see. Don't you worry. There we go. Johnstone's wood and metal, fast dry and Leyland trade is going on first, and I used the roller throughout because it was just so much easier. You can just wedge it into the corners, you can just jab it in, and it's all good. So I would definitely say if you're going to do this, just stick with a little roller. I got this Harris ones, and this was in Dunelm. And I'm going to show you what I've got. My goodness me, if you're thinking of transforming your stairs on a budget, I've got the answer, people. I've got the answer. Go into Dunelm and go to where it's like all the rugs and the mats. They have a selection of loads of mats and rugs for runners, for £5 for the mats, £6 for the short runners. And that's what I've got. I've got a mixture of the two because it's obviously different steps or different sizes, and that's what I got. I got a mixture of the two, and I think I'm trying to work out how many I bought in total, but I think it's cost me to do all of this less than £50. Yeah, the carpet was, I think the carpet was around the sort of £40-50 mark. And the paint I already had, because I've got it for the door frames, which I'm going to be repainted. And I do get paint on the wall. Don't you worry. I'm painting the wall this week. So there's going to be another video coming. I'm painting the bottom section of the wall. I'm going to go for white, and I'm going to just brighten it up and really just, yeah, because the hallways look so dark since I've done it black. And I know I'm using a dark colour, therefore it's going to look dark, but I didn't realise how dark it was going to be. I suppose you never really know until you actually do it, but goodness me, it wasn't bringing it. It wasn't bringing it to the table. So it ain't going to stay. I'm getting rid, and I'm really enjoying it as well. I had that feeling. I don't know if anybody else gets this feeling, but it's the feeling where you know you've got to do something. You look at it and you go, I can't. I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know where to begin. My top tip for that situation is to clear up around the target. So if your target is to say do the stairs and you've got to strip them and paint them, clean around it. If you get rid of any clutter, any junk that shouldn't be there around the area of where you're going to be doing your makeover, whatever it is, if you clear up around it, you know you're not surrounded by it. And it's not like caving in on you and it's making you feel worse, because if you've got a clear space around you, it gives you that kind of feeling like, I can do this. And when you're doing it, you can see the effects more because you've got a tidy surrounding. So I would definitely say, just for instance, you were going to paint one door in your house, clear the area around it first. Panzer was doing my nutting, and let me tell you, the paint on one side was dry before I did the other side. The reason I did that is because coming up and down the stairs, these are quite narrow. So it was like, I don't want to do both sides and then say everybody just walk onto the black, because it's not going to happen. And with cats, definitely not going to happen. So it was a case of, I do one side, let that dry, and then I'll do the other side. So I was like tinkering about and doing other things while it was drying, but it didn't take long to dry. So it's very good paint. I will say that it is really, really good. Yes. So I've got a weekly coming up tomorrow, if anyone's interested, but I will pre-warn you, there is something very sad in there indeed. It is, yeah, not a good day is in that weekly. Oh, yeah, it was not nice at all. So I will be sharing that, but not too much of it, because it's just heartbreak and doom and gloom. But there is something in there, so I'm just pre-warning you if you are going to watch it. But last night was really funny because, I mean, we all know that I'm not quite normal. And I said to Alex and my eldest one, Sam, I said, can you say the word fart with a straight face and not laugh? Just the word. Just look at someone and say the word. And I said, I guarantee you can't keep a straight face. And they tried it, and both of them were laughing before they even said it. I said, see, you got it from me. It's not right. I can't say the word solely on its own with a straight face without laughing. I either laugh seconds after I've said it, or I laugh as I'm saying it. It's not impossible. You just can't do it. Try it and see how you feel. Oh my God, Sainsbury's. You know I love Sainsbury's. Okay, so I've just been to the worst Sainsbury's in the entire UK. I'm not even joking. It is so bad. Like, I've taken pictures because I cannot believe what I've just witnessed. I felt physically sick in there, and I turned around and said to Nick, if it's not packaged, we are not getting it. Nothing that is out of packaging is being purchased in here. No bakery, nothing. It was disgusting. There was fruit that was mouldy in packets. There was fruit out of packets and vegetables that were rotten and had holes in them. There was bananas in there that looked like they had bugs living in them. The banana black sheets that they all hang on like little hammocks were caked in so much brown filth and gunk. It was unbelievable. And there was like staff members putting stuff out on top. So I'm in the bakery section, shocked by what I've just witnessed in the fruit and veg. And there was a manager there putting stock out in the bakery bit. And I turned around and said to my eldest son, I said, I've never been in such a disgusting Sainsbury's in my life. She would have heard me, and I made sure that she could hear me. And she didn't even acknowledge it. Like, she was just ignoring everything I was saying. I'm thinking to myself, you're the manager here. Sort it out. There was donuts out of packets just sat on racks, going all dry and curdled up. There was sugar, packets of sugar all opened and spilt all over the floor. It was the most disgusting place I've ever been, food-wise. And I don't normally say this about Sainsbury's, because you know what I'm like. I do like to shop at Sainsbury's because they bring the goods. Yes, they do. And their food is like, it's nice. You know, it's nice. Apart from the chicken, I will say the chicken, wherever you go, apart from Lidl, I do like Lidl chicken. Fresh chicken. You get chicken breast. A nice jibbly breast. And you're like, yes, I'm going to cook you for my curry tonight. And you cut it and it's nice. Whereas if you go to Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Morrison's, all that, they're injected with so much water. It's like you're cutting slime. It's so disgusting. But anyway, yeah. So I won't ever walk back into that Sainsbury's for as long as I live. But there we go. I've just started to put on the satin overcoat. I have. And I'm going around the door frames, and I'm also using the roller. No brush. No. Can't be using the brush because it just takes too much time. So I am using the roller to do it. And it's coming out really, really well. I'm just wedging the roller into like all the areas that need to be filled in, like all the creases and whatnot. And it's coming out really, really easy. And it's not breaking my back as much as a paintbrush when you're trying to focus and get it just right. So yeah, I don't know why I've not used a roller in the past. And I've probably been said, use a roller. Why aren't you using a roller? And I've gone, why am I not using a roller? Don't know. But now I'm using it. I get it. Oh, it's a dream. It just rolls on nicely and it dabs in there nicely as well. So all the kids are off school now. They're all off for the next 9 days and I've got to try and keep them all entertained. At the same time, I've got to try and keep my sanity because I've never known bickering quite like it. They're at that age now. I mean, I say this every flipping year. They're at that age where it's just like that. You breathe near me. You got too close to me. You've just been near my food and now I can't eat it. And I'm like, what is going on in my life? I just can't cope with it. I really can't. And I'm constantly on that, what now? What now? I feel like that's what I say all the time. So I went to Argos. I went to Argos. And I bought the cheapest staple gun that I could find because I'm like, I'm not spending a fortune if it's going to do the job. I mean, it should do the job. So these are the mats I've got. I'll show you a better view of them coming up. But this is a runner. And it does sort of like 1, 2, it borders onto like 3 stairs. And it goes over, I think it goes over the top 3rd step. And I'm just stapling it down. And once I got the hang of the stapler, I was doing all right. But at first I was like, it's not doing it. It's not doing it. I don't know what to do. I can't buy another one. I can't go out again. I just want to get started. I just want to get it done. It done, people. And I was getting somewhat stressed out. I really, really was. But when I realised where I should be stapling and how I should be stapling, it was going on absolutely fine. But by that point, I'd already worn my body out. I was in absolute agony. My hands were having flare-ups. And I haven't told you, I had the worst foot cramp I've had in my entire life. I was literally crying in the front room, going, please help me, make it stop. It was the worst. I've never known anything quite like it. I mean, I get cramp in my feet probably like 3 or 4 times a day, and they're quick. Like it comes on and I go, oh, cramp, and then I just walk it off and it's all good. But this one was not going that way. This one was going on and on and on, and nothing I was doing was helping it. My baby toes, the little toes on the side, felt like they were literally back folding over onto my foot. The pain was evil, and I was there crying in the front room, holding my toes all the way back, massaging around my foot, going, can someone please Google how to get rid of foot cramp, please, I can't cope. Yeah, it lasted about 20 minutes of constant no relief. I was actually starting to get quite concerned for the safety of my foot, my little hoof. I wasn't happy, and then I didn't want to touch it all night or move it. I was scared to even stretch a toe. I was like, no, get it under the duvet. I put a fleece blanket over the top of that, and then I put my dressing gown over my feet. And I kept waking up in the night because I was like, I don't want to move. I don't want to move my toes. Touch wood, it hasn't come back yet. But with the stairs, so if you are going to do this, I would recommend cutting off the end trim. Because when you line it up on the stairs, if you've still got that curved trim where the stitching goes all the way around the runner, it doesn't look as nice. So I stuck it down and I looked at it and I went, I don't like that. So I unstuck it and then I cut the end, and it just fits really nicely in together. I was like, that's so much better. And it doesn't take long. Once you work out how to use the staple gun, it doesn't take long at all. So by this point, I'd reached the top, but I just couldn't physically do any more. So I thought I'm going to do the rest of it tomorrow because I was so tired and so raw. So I'm moving on to the next part of the stairs, and I do go all the way to the very, very top, people. I finally get to the top, whereas last time I left it and I didn't do it. But maybe there's a reason. because, it's my subconscious was like, no, Gabby, you're not going to like it. So don't bother going all the way to the top. Just leave it and hate it and ask yourself on the daily, why didn't I finish the top? Because soon there will come a point in your life where you'll be like, no, I don't like this black anymore. So these are them. Look, £6 for this one. They're really soft as well. And they're really cushiony under the feet. They're nice and warm as well. But the mats, these ones are slightly wider, as you can see, but they're not as soft. There is a very slight colour difference in them. And it's very, very slight. But I'm not too fussed because I've looked and I've looked and I've looked. You'll see me in my weekly. I go in there and I have to pull all the mats apart to try and find the ones I want. And they don't have the same colour. But I don't want thin ones at the top stairs because it won't look right with the size of the hallway. I mean, it's only a small little space anyway, but it just wouldn't look right. So I thought, do you know what? I would rather have a very slight colour discoloration than have thin runners going up on the main part. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't fit very well. So I'm taking my little roller up the stairs. I'm feeling really excited because I haven't done the upstairs yet. Like when I did the black, I did it downstairs, so I knew what I was in for. Whereas I didn't know what I was in for up here, and it was challenging. Yes, it was quite satisfying to do like the big space. Does anyone remember? Has anybody been here long enough to remember me trying to clean the carpet at the top of the stairs? It was absolutely awful. Like I can't even put it into words. I shouldn't have even tried to clean it. Looking back on it, I should have just ripped it up and said, "Begone with you, filth, begone," because it was disgusting. Oh my God. And the thought I even tried to clean that. Filth! But anyway, I've opened up the airing cupboard door a little bit just so I can get some underneath so it's not poking out. And I'm doing as much of the door frames as I go round. So as I'm going round the floor, I'm doing the door frames at the same time just to try and, save myself from changing rollers and paints and that all the time, here, there and everywhere. But there will be a wall painting video next week. So if you want to see that, stick around, people. Stick around. Roller goes over nicely as well on the curved edges of the stairs, which was nice and easy. And I'm quite happy with this one. I can't say that if I look back and say, what's the worst DIY you've done? This is definitely not one of them. This was really nice and satisfying because everything was just coming up so fresh and nice. Everything cleans really nice and easy. But to be fair, I am more on it than I used to be. So there wasn't much collecting in corners. Whereas if you went back to me past videos, you'll be like that. Jesus, Gabby, what was that about? Yes. Oh, what was I going to say? There was something I was going to say. It's gone up my head. I had it for a split second, and then it's gone, and I don't know why. Does anybody else get that? I get it all the time, and it drives me absolutely insane. Because then I'm like, I can't focus on what it is I'm saying because I'm like conscious of what I've just missed, and then I want to say what I've just missed, but I can't. Oh, it was so cute today. So I took the boys to the fort, which we've been waiting to open for over a year now, and they had like photographers and film crew and whatnot. They're filming parts of the well, not like a film crew, but just people filming and taking photos of around the fort because it's open day. This is the worst part of the stairs. I just want to add that in. This is the worst part. I hated it. With every part of hate in my body went into this corner of the stairs and I didn't like it. Yes. So we're at the fort and then the photographer people came up and they said, is it right if we get a picture of Alex? Because Alex was in Alex had dressed up on military. He just looked absolutely gorgeous. Handsome boy. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. And then I was like, yeah, go on then. And then Nick was signing the form to say it's okay that they can take a picture of him because they might use it for like their social medias and also like whatever it is, commercials and stuff like that. So we were like, yeah, that's fine. And he's up there getting photos taken. I was just like, oh, look at my boy. Look at him. Look at him. He's gorgeous. Yes. I'm always telling my boys how gorgeous they are. Always. And then you know what they say to me? You're old. Oh, thanks. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Not. Do you know, I looked at how much Botox is now. It used to be about £195 to have 3 areas done. That's what I paid the last time I had it done. £195 for my crow's feet, my frown lines, and the centre bit in the brow. You know, all around there. Forehead, centrepiece. And I looked the other day. It's about 140 quid and up. 240 quid, sorry, and up. I'm like, they're having a laugh. It'd be different if it lasted a year, but it doesn't. It only lasts about 3 months. I mean, granted, my face is quite good. Once I have Botox, it softens up again, but the lines are nowhere near as bad for about a good year. But it doesn't give me that smooth effect for a full year, and it doesn't give me that smooth effect for 3 months. I'm lucky if it lasts me 2. And it makes my eye sockets sink. So I'm like that. Look up my forehead. It's all nice and smooth. And then you look at your eyes and don't ignore my droopy eye sockets. The eyelids are now sunken into my eyelashes and I look like I'm squinting all the time. But that's just the Botox. Anyway, so I'm hoovering up now all the last few bits of the mess that I've made with, cutting it and whatnot. And all the staples that I didn't staple very well, and then I had to pick out the side of the carpet and then make little piles as I went up because I didn't know what I was doing with the stapler, but we got there in the end. But there is quite a collection, so I just suck them up the hoover. But it hoovers up nice. Look at it. Look. Jensen's up there playing with what he got from the fort today. He's playing with his little army soldiers and whatnot. I was going to get a nice shot of the upstairs, how it's all done, fresh, but I'm not going to disturb him. He's quite happy, but look at it as you go down. Look at that. It is better, isn't it? It was worth it to get rid of that black. It's so much better. So I'm going to show you now the bit that's not perfect, but I didn't have enough and there wasn't any left in the store for me to make it perfect. But I'll keep my eyes peeled because I'll just unpop it. I'll unstaple it and redo it. But it's just this bit here. I'm not overly happy with this. I want it to line up. But where it goes around a bend, it's really, really hard. But I will get a bit more and I'll just staple it in good time. Once they've got one in there, I'm going to nab it up. But there we go. Look at it. What do you think? Do you like it? And if anyone's worried about staples, I can't even find them. You can't find them once you stapled them down. You hammer them after you staple. And I eventually found it by having to dig. But yeah, you do. They are there, but you don't feel them on your feet. So they're not going to hurt anyone's feet. They're right there, buried in the lining of the runner. So yeah, once it's hammered down, you don't see it. All lovely and soft. £6 a runner, £5 a mat. Absolutely brilliant. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Yes, my hands are raw and they are sore, but I will see you lovely people in my next one.